Hey everybody, this is Jacob's Universe here, and Jacob Black. This is one of the hardest times for me. Well, for all of us, true believers of Marvel, because a man died today. A man who we might know as Stan Lee. His his legacy. I can't believe it. The man was at the age of 95. He would have been 96 in December, but death was really waiting for him. Mistress Death was waiting for him. Not just to take his life, but just to make him be at peace. And in order to be in peace, I can't understand why. Hey, Black. So, if you already heard what this stream is called, yes, this is the rest in peace, Stan Lee. I can't even think about why he died like this.
I'm going to work. You got clean clothes down on the bed.
Okay.
Not too late. I'll see you in the morning.
Okay. Sorry about that, folks. My dad had to talk to me. Hey, Shad. Yeah, I know. Everyone has by Stan. And even where I still had that little hate grudge where he said that Goku would beat Superman, but I got over it. But to know how Stan Lee is, he was a legend. He would never die in vain. But to know this, Stan Lee will be remembered for one thing, for creating the Avengers, Ultron, Sinister Six, Venom, the Clintar, Carnage, Toxin, Sentry, and much more, even the Infinity Stones. Stan was nothing more, not of a man. He was more of a being of God of hope. As you know, this symbol is DC, but I am still Marvel. I am connected to the multiverse, so hearing from his death, I didn't cry from the inside of my heart or soul. I only embrace the pain, and he has given me more energy as I could think of in my own world. He has inspired us all. Till then, there will be a newer person for doing his cameos from now on. That person will do whatever he or she takes to do this in the right way for all of us. For all of us to be true believers and to always go beyond by saying Excelsior. Hey, thank you to come to this live stream, John Miller. Subscribe to my channel if you would like. Most likely, I'm a big fan of one creation that Stan Lee made it back in the 1960s. He loved two horror movies. Two characters were based on their own different timelines, or possibly back at the Stone Age, but where man could just, have villages and kingdoms and, a castle. That one was for Frankenstein. Frankenstein was a creation by Dr. Frankenstein himself. But the Frankenstein's monster, Frankenstein's monster wasn't a bad guy. He was more like a good guy. He didn't want to hurt nobody. But in the progress, where Frankenstein's monster met the people villagers who were running up down the hills with torches just to make him angry. Well, and pitchforks too. That was going to be part for Hulk. But in the process, they're saying the more angry they made Frankenstein, the more fierce Frankenstein is as a monster, as the villagers made him to be that way. And the next two, he combined it with another doctor who believed in two sides of a man, like you as yourself and the other side, which I do the voice for Jacob Black, is your inner demons. And Henry Jekyll decided to create this inner demon of his by awakening him and bringing him upon to the world. And when he did drink the serum, the elixir turned Jekyll's body and mind to become younger and wickeder, and he became Edward Hyde. So he combined Edward Hyde, Henry Jekyll with Dr. Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster. And what you get is Bruce Banner and my favorite overpowered hero for the Avengers, Illuminati, and most likely a man who wants to be left alone and always gets, militaried all the time. The Incredible Hulk. Yep, the Hulk. Hulk is one of my favorite heroes. I started to like him after when I watched Superman Returns when I was about 5 years old. Because I was inspired by Superman so much, but after when I think about the Hulk, I started to like the Rufus Ingo and Bill Bixby's TV series Hulk. But still, life is going so hard knowing that Stan Lee has died. But hey, we're all still living. Huh. Well, Captain John Miller, my favorite, and there's some other favorites of my characters in Marvel history. Hulk is just my number one favorite heroes, but my favorite villains would have to be for Thanos, the Mad Titan. Like, having the Infinity Stone of all seven, and you could just, snap your fingers just to make the universe in your own way. I would have put in Ultron on first place, but he was more like a prick of a douchebag. Because if you remember his original history in comics, Hank was the one who created Ultron. But in the cinema world, the two that created Ultron from the Mind Stone was Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. And Ultron didn't last in the big screen for long because he got killed right before once his plan failed for the movie, if any of you guys saw it. After all, Stan Lee will be remembered to be a good man and to be a man who could have no limits to make his own characters, and even newer characters he could have made it. But to say that someone is going to take his place, and sometimes some of us out there are not going to like the newer guy or woman, some of us will, but needless to say, Stan Lee is a legend, and he will never or ever be forgotten until, I could say this in my own mind, get reincarnated into a different family bloodline and body. Same thing for his wife too. Because of that, if God gives you that chance to go back to Earth, so that you could do that thing over again, but only just deciding just to understand if you could remember everything that you were back before. Well, John, we don't know about that. But needless to say is, my favorite anti-hero has to go to Venom. After seeing the Venom movie, I loved it. Rotten Tomatoes on 39. Screw you haters. You haters really wanted perfection because you wanted Spider-Man in the movie just to do the same way how the comics was. How where Spider-Man ruins Eddie Brock's life because of Eddie Brock then basically thought he convicted the man who was a serial killer, but Spider-Man found the real one and shamelessly making Eddie feel upset. And the result, Eddie's company fired him, his father disowned him, and Eddie's wife left him. Also, Eddie Brock had cancer, which we already know. But till then, in the same church that Eddie was in, where Spider-Man was at with the symbiote on his body, Spider-Man tried to take off the suit, but only way he could take it off was by loud sounds or heat. By doing that in the church, if you remember from Spider-Man 3, 2007, that's what Peter Parker did. But knowing that he was naked when he didn't have to wear any clothes under the symbiote, because of that, when the symbiote bonded with Eddie, the two became one. One and the same guy to kill, same guy just to destroy, and then they could become the hero. But in the movie version, it's just all different. Besides, I really liked the Venom movie for 2018, and I cannot wait just to see Carnage in action. A little quote from the actor. Uh, well, I think that's the way I'm just stream for tonight.